listening audience, how you doing today? You joined here by your host, Giuliano. And today, this is Real Talk Radio. I'm also joined by a close friend of mine, mentor, personal advisor, Mr. Abu Hamid. And today we're going to talk about some things referring to the Islam faith, what it means to be a Muslim. We're also going to talk about the mad scientist, if you will, Yaqub. We're going to talk about some other issues here today. But I think it's very important that this issue is talked about, what it means to be a Muslim, and what is the real meaning of a jihad. I think that word gets used a lot in the media, and people don't have really an understanding to its meaning. So we're going to try to make sure we go ahead and get all these questions and more answered today. And first off, I'd like to introduce my guest. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Hamid? Tell us a little bit about what you've done, and tell us about a little bit of places you traveled to and everything like that. And pretty much the floor is yours. Go ahead and say whatever you want to say. This is Real Talk Radio.
First of all, I'd like to say Assalamu alaikum, which of course is the Arabic greeting for wishing the peace of God to be upon you. And also I would like to have the same wish upon myself, to say that of course I'm referred to as Abu Hamid, and I've been known by this name around the world to the different places where I went to school and where I gave lectures. I am Muslim, and I've been Muslim for a number of years. I embraced the faith, mainstream Islam, in 1988, but I was introduced to Islamic terminology and a type of Islam. I guess some people would like to argue with that point. In 1970, when I went into the Nation of Islam, and I went into the Nation of Islam because I saw it as being the most viable unit there to stand up for the rights of the African American here in the United States.
So what do you mean by mainstream Islam?
Well, mainstream Islam means that this is the Islam that is practiced by Muslims throughout the world.
Okay, so you're saying that the practice of Muslims, the Nation of Islam, is not the common practice?
No, it's not.
Okay,
absolutely.
Just want to make sure that's what you were saying.
Even to the way that we used to pray, the way that we practice Ramadan, the basic concept, what we call in Arabic aqidah, means the fundamental principles that you stand on, is completely different in the Nation of Islam to mainstream Islam.
Okay.
In mainstream Islam, we believe that there is God, Allah, the Creator, and there is creation, and the two are not the same.
I see.
And that God does not come in the person of anyone. He doesn't have to. He's God. He's the Creator. He's above all. The concept in the Nation of Islam was that God came in the person of a man, and this naturally led to the point, or to a type of misunderstanding that man is God.
I see what
you
you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
And so man cannot be God. Man is a creation
of God.
Of God.
Okay, cool.
And the two are not the same.
So let me ask you this question then. You know, it's been I remember I watched a clip on YouTube not too long ago. It was about Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. And Malcolm X, as you know, is one of my big time heroes, big time supporter of Malcolm X. And pretty much back in January 1965, I believe, Malcolm X was being interviewed. What he said was he believed that the Christians, the Jews, and the Muslims all worship the same God. How do you feel about that?
That point isn't in doubt. There's only one Creator, one God, and the same one that sent Jesus is the same one that sent Moses, is the same one that sent Muhammad. May God's peace be upon all of the prophets of God. And as far as our brother Malcolm is concerned, I'm just sorry that he didn't get an opportunity to grow into the fullness of the understanding of Islam, as he made the same journey from the Nation of Islam to mainstream Islam, and then his life was taken certainly much too suddenly to get an opportunity to become exposed to all of the riches that mainstream Islam offers. And that's one of the sad things. When I think back over the life of Malcolm, he is someone who had dedicated his life to helping other people, and those people always stand uppermost in my mind, whether it's Malcolm, whether it's Martin, whether it's John Kennedy, whoever it was, who had the internal fortitude to stand up for the people certainly is in the upper reaches of my mind in terms of respect.
So let me ask you this question. What does it mean to be a Muslim? And also, what do you think that the media, why do you think the media tries to portray Islam as such a hateful thing? Because, you know, it's a senator who just got sworn in, and he wants to use the Quran. It was a big stink about that.
Sure.
So explain to me how you feel about that, but also what does it mean to be a Muslim?
First of all, to me, to be Muslim means to submit yourself totally to God. Not 50%, not 75%, not 90%, not 99%, but 100% to the will of God. And I recognize that that's a journey, and it takes time for individual to reach that level. But to me, that's what being a Muslim is. If you go back and you investigate Judaism, you go back and you investigate the beginnings of Christianity, you find that those things also were the same drive, and that is to submit oneself completely to the will of God. And that is a strong similarity between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. As far as the press is concerned, the press, they have to present what sells.